her best friend's birthday, she announced, "Dating down really puts life in perspective. Now I know what I don't want." Everyone laughed. I quietly got up, left $50 on the table and drove home. She spent the night texting apologies. I spent it blocking numbers. Hey viewers, huge thanks to everyone who's already subscribed. We're getting super close to 10,000. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button and help us reach that milestone. I'm 34M and work as an electrician. Good steady job, own my house, trucks paid off. Nothing fancy, but I'm comfortable. Been dating Vanessa, 30F, for about 10 months. She has some finance job downtown, makes good money, definitely more polished than me, but I thought we balanced each other out. Vanessa's friend group is what you'd expect. Young professionals, trendy restaurants, weekend wine tastings, that whole scene. I've hung out with them maybe 6 times total. They're polite to me, but there's always this underlying vibe that I don't quite fit. Last Saturday was her best friend Lauren's 29th birthday. Big dinner at some upscale steakhouse downtown, maybe 12 people total. Lauren specifically requested I come, which I thought was nice. Should have been a red flag. Thing is, I've noticed little comments from this group before. 3 months ago at a wine bar, someone made a joke about me being the token blue-collar guy. 2 months ago at a dinner party, Lauren asked if I'd ever considered advancing my career beyond manual labor. Last month, Vanessa's coworker mentioned how refreshing it was that she was exploring different types of people. I ignored it all, figured they just didn't know many tradesmen. Vanessa always seemed embarrassed by their comments and would change the subject. We get to the restaurant around 7 p.m. Nice place. Cloth napkins, wine list thicker than a phone book. I'm wearing my good shirt and jeans, everyone else is in business casual or better. The usual dynamic, but I'm used to it by now. Dinner starts fine. Good food, normal conversation about work and weekend plans. I mostly listen, contribute when someone asks me something directly. Vanessa seems relaxed, keeps including me in conversations. Around 9 p.m. we're finishing dessert, and Lauren stands up with her wine glass. Time for the birthday speech. I just want to thank everyone for being here tonight. This has been such an amazing year, and you guys are the best friends a girl could ask for. Standard birthday stuff. People are smiling, raising their glasses. I've learned so much about myself this year, especially about relationships and what I want in life. She's looking around the table, making eye contact with everyone. Vanessa, you've taught me something really important this year. Watching you has been so educational. Vanessa looks confused but pleased. What do you mean? Well, your whole dating down experiment. It's been fascinating to watch from the outside. The table goes dead quiet. I feel my stomach drop, but I keep my expression neutral. I mean, dating someone so different from your usual type, someone who doesn't match your education level or lifestyle, it really puts life in perspective, doesn't it? Vanessa's face is turning red. Lauren. No, I'm serious. It's brilliant, actually. Now you know exactly what you don't want in a partner. The whole experience has been like a cautionary tale for the rest of us. Half the table looks uncomfortable, the other half is nodding along. Some guy named Brad actually smirks. That's harsh, but probably true. Another woman adds, it does make you appreciate compatibility more. I'm sitting there processing that I've apparently been a 10-month social experiment while her friends discuss me like I'm not here. Lauren raises her glass higher. So here's to learning experiences and knowing your worth. Thanks for showing us what settling looks like, V. Really educational stuff. Everyone's looking between me and Vanessa now. Vanessa looks mortified, but she's not saying anything to defend me. Just sitting there frozen while her friends toast my humiliation. I calmly reach into my wallet, pull out 2 20s and a 10, and place them on the table next to my plate. The entrees were around $35. This covers my meal with tip. Happy birthday, Lauren, I say, standing up. Thanks for the education. I walk out of the restaurant without hurrying. Don't make a scene, don't slam doors, just leave with whatever dignity I have left. Get to my truck and sit there for a minute. 10 months of my life. 10 months of thinking I was in a real relationship while apparently being someone's slumming experiment. The casual cruelty of having it announced like entertainment is staggering. My phone starts buzzing before I even get home. Vanessa calling. I decline. Text. Mike, please don't leave like this. Another call. Decline. Text. Lauren was drunk, she didn't mean it. Another call. I turn my phone off, get home, crack a beer, and think about the last 10 months. All those comments I brushed off. All those times I felt like a curiosity instead of a boyfriend. All those moments when I wondered if I was imagining the condescension. Turn my phone back on around 11 p.m. 19 missed calls from Vanessa. 26 text messages. Mike, I'm so sorry. Lauren is an idiot. Please don't take this seriously. She's jealous because she's single. Everyone thinks she was way out of line. Please call me back. We need to talk. I'm driving to your house. Why aren't you answering? This is ridiculous. You know I care about you. Don't throw away what we have over something stupid, Lauren said. I start blocking numbers. First her personal phone, then when she tries calling from what's probably a friend's phone, I block that too. Around midnight, I hear a car outside. Look through the blinds and see Vanessa's BMW parked on the street. She walks up to my door and starts knocking. Mike, I know you're in there. Please just talk to me. I don't answer. She keeps knocking for about 10 minutes, then goes back to her car. But she doesn't leave. Just sits there watching my house. She finally drives off around 12:30 a.m. This morning there are flowers on my doorstep with a note. I'm sorry. What we have is real. Please don't let Lauren ruin this. V. Threw the flowers in the trash with the note. Here's the thing. Maybe Lauren was drunk. Maybe she was bitter about being single. But dating down experiment isn't something you make up on the spot. That phrase came from somewhere. That was language they'd used before. And Vanessa's reaction told me everything. No immediate defense of me, no shutting Lauren down, just embarrassment that her friends said the quiet part out loud. I've been someone's social science project for 10 months. Someone's way of figuring out what she really wants. The charity case that made her appreciate her own standards. Not interested in being anyone's learning experience while they figure out their preferences. She got her education. Now she can find someone who matches her requirements from day one. Update 1, 48 hours later. Well, this has been an interesting couple of days. Thanks for all the comments and support. Good to know most people think being publicly called a dating experiment deserves an immediate exit. So yesterday, Vanessa escalated her damage control campaign. She showed up at my job site around lunchtime. I'm working on electrical for a new office building downtown. We were on break when my supervisor Frank comes over. Mike, there's a woman outside asking for you. Says it's urgent. I look toward the street and see Vanessa standing by the sidewalk in her work clothes. She's smart enough to stay outside the construction zone, but she's clearly waiting for me. Tell her I'm busy. She says she'll wait until your break is over. Then she's going to be waiting a while. But having my personal drama visible to my crew isn't professional. I walk over to the fence separating the site from the sidewalk. Vanessa, you can't be here. Mike, please, 5 minutes. There's nothing to discuss. Yes, there is. What Lauren said was completely wrong and I told her so. When? Because you didn't say anything at the restaurant. I was in shock. I couldn't believe she said something so horrible. Horrible but accurate, apparently. That's not true. Mike, you know how I feel about you. I know how your friends feel about me, and I know you didn't correct them. My crew is trying not to stare, but this is getting awkward. Please just meet me for coffee after work so we can talk properly. No, then dinner tomorrow, or this weekend, anything. Vanessa, I'm not interested in being your social experiment anymore. That's not what this was. Really? Because Lauren seemed pretty confident about the whole dating down thing. Lauren doesn't understand our relationship. She understood it well enough to give a toast about it. Vanessa looks around and realizes people are watching. I'm not giving up on us, Mike. There is no us. There's just you figuring out what you don't want. I walk back to the job site and she eventually leaves. That evening brought a new approach. Vanessa had her sister Kim call me. We'd met a couple times at family gatherings. Always seemed reasonable. Mike, I heard what happened at Lauren's birthday. Word travels fast. Vanessa told me what Lauren said. I wanted you to know that was completely out of line. I appreciate that, Kim. She's been crying for 2 days. I've never seen her this upset. I'm sorry she's upset, but this isn't something I can fix. Mike, I know my sister. She genuinely cares about you. Your sister's friend called me a dating experiment and she sat there silent. She was probably in shock. She was probably embarrassed that someone said what she'd been thinking. Long pause. You really think that's how she sees you? Kim, your sister makes good money and has a graduate degree. I'm a high school graduate who works with my hands. Her friends talk about wine regions while I drink beer from the bottle. The writing was on the wall. That stuff doesn't matter if you care about someone. It mattered to Lauren, and judging by the reactions at that table, it matters to the rest of her friends too. So that's it? You're not even going to give her a chance to explain? She had her chance to explain on Saturday night. When Lauren was talking, that was her moment to shut it down. She chose silence. Kim tried convincing me for another few minutes, but I wasn't interested. Today brought Vanessa's most desperate move. Around 2 p.m. I get a call from my mom. "Mike, I just got the strangest call." "From who?" "Some girl named Vanessa. Says she's your girlfriend and you two had a fight." "Ex-girlfriend? What did she want?" "She wanted to know if I could talk to you about giving her another chance. Said there was a misunderstanding." "What did you tell her?" "I told her I don't get involved in your relationships, and she had no business calling me." "Good. How did she even get your number?" "She said you'd mentioned me bringing cookies to your worksite last month, so she called around to electrical companies until she found someone who knew Frank, your supervisor. Frank gave her my number thinking it was an emergency." "That's pretty determined. That's pretty desperate." "Mike, what happened?" I explained the whole situation. Mom listens without interrupting. "So this girl's friend called you a learning experience?" "Pretty much." "And your girlfriend didn't defend you?" "Nope." "Then you made the right choice, honey. You deserve someone who's proud to be with you, not someone using you to figure out what they want." "Thanks, Mom." Although I have to say, calling me shows she's really panicking. That girl must be realizing what she lost. This evening, I get a text from Vanessa's number. "Mike, this is Lauren using V's phone. I owe you a huge apology." I almost delete it, but I'm curious what excuse she's come up with. "What I said on Saturday was completely wrong, and I'm sorry. I was drunk and taking out my own relationship frustrations on you." That doesn't make it okay. "I know. I talked to Vanessa yesterday, and she told me how serious you two are. She's been planning to introduce you to her parents at Christmas." If that's true, funny way of showing it. "Mike, I was wrong about everything. Vanessa talks about you constantly. She's crazy about you." "Then why didn't she defend me?" "Because she was shocked. We all were. Nobody expected me to say something that cruel." "But you did say it." "Yeah, I did, and I've been regretting it ever since." I think about this for a while before responding. "Lauren, maybe you were drunk and frustrated, but dating down experiment isn't something you make up on the spot. You've heard that phrase before." "You're right. My ex-boyfriend used it about his previous relationship. I was projecting my own situation onto yours." "So this had nothing to do with how she actually feels?" "Mike, Vanessa has never said anything negative about you. Ever." "Then why do I feel like a zoo animal around her friends?" "Because we're snobs who aren't used to someone genuine. But that's our problem, not yours." Long conversation, but it got me thinking. Maybe I misread the situation. Maybe Lauren really was just being drunk and bitter. But then I remember Vanessa's face at the restaurant. The silence when she should have spoken up. Still not sure what to believe. Final update, 1 week later. Time to close this chapter. It's been a week since Lauren's birthday speech, and I've had time to think about everything that happened. After Lauren's apology text, I spent a couple days considering whether I'd overreacted. Maybe she was just drunk and bitter. Maybe Vanessa really was planning to introduce me to her parents. Maybe I jumped to conclusions. Then I started remembering other things. 2 weeks ago, Vanessa mentioned wanting to take a weekend trip to Napa Valley. When I looked up wine tour prices and said it seemed expensive, she got this look and said, "Well, I could probably cover it if you can't afford your share." At the time, I thought she was being generous. Now I realize she was already planning around my financial limitations. Last month, at her office Christmas party, her boss made some condescending comment about blue-collar workers. Vanessa didn't defend me, just changed the subject like she was embarrassed. 3 weeks ago, she suggested I might want to explore some continuing education options to expand my opportunities. When I said I liked my job, she said, "Of course, but don't you want to grow?" Those weren't isolated incidents. They were part of a pattern I'd been ignoring because I wanted the relationship to work. Wednesday, I made my decision. I called Vanessa from work. "Mike, oh my God, I'm so glad you called." "Vanessa, I've thought about everything and my answer is final. We're done." "Mike, please don't say that. I love you. You love the idea of being with someone different, but you don't love me enough to defend me when it matters." That's not fair. I was in shock. Fair is being with someone who sees me as an equal, not a project. You are my equal. Your friend called it dating down, and you didn't disagree. That tells me how you really see this. I'll cut Lauren out of my life if that's what it takes. It's not about Lauren. It's about the fact you agreed with her assessment. I never agreed with anything. Your silence was agreement enough. She kept trying to argue, but I'd made up my mind. Thursday, she tried one last time. Showed up at my house around 7 p.m. with what looked like a prepared speech. I answered the door but didn't invite her in. Mike, I've been thinking about this all week. You're right that I should have defended you immediately. I was wrong to stay quiet. Okay, I want to make this right. I've already told my friends that anyone who disrespects you isn't welcome in my life. Good for you. I want to prove that you matter to me, that this relationship matters. How? However you want. I'll introduce you to my parents this weekend. We can move in together, whatever shows you how serious I am. I looked at this woman I'd spent 10 months with, trying to figure out if she was genuine or just panicking. Vanessa, can I ask you something honestly? Anything. Before Lauren's speech, had you ever thought of our relationship as dating down? She hesitated, just for a second, but I caught it. No, I never thought that. Not even early on? Mike, that's not. Yes or no, did you ever think you were dating below your level? Another pause. Maybe at first I wondered if we were compatible long-term because we're so different. But that changed. When did it change? Months ago. Mike, I fell in love with you. But you did think you were dating down initially. I thought we came from different worlds. That's not the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. You saw me as beneath your level and hoped it would work out anyway. That's not how it was. That's exactly how it was. Lauren just said out loud what you'd been thinking. Mike, please. Find someone who matches your background from the start. Someone who doesn't make you wonder if you're settling. I closed the door, and that was the end of it. That was 4 days ago. No more calls, texts, or surprise visits. Either she finally accepted reality, or she's already moved on to someone more suitable. Yesterday I had lunch with my buddy Tom, who works plumbing. Told him the whole story. Man, I could see this coming from a mile away. What do you mean? Mike, that girl never looked at you like you were her equal. She looked at you like you were interesting, but not like you belonged. You noticed that? We all did. She was nice enough, but there was always this vibe like she was doing charity work. That confirmed what I already knew deep down. I'm doing fine. Better than fine, actually. No more second-guessing myself around her friends. No more feeling like I need to prove I'm worth her time. No more dating someone who saw me as a social experiment. The revenge wasn't elaborate. It was just refusing to be someone's learning experience and walking away with my dignity intact. Lauren's speech was the best thing that could have happened. It showed me exactly how Vanessa and her friends really saw me, and gave me the clarity to end things before wasting more time. Vanessa got her education about what she doesn't want. Turns out, she doesn't want someone who has enough self-respect to walk away when disrespected. Next time I'll find someone who sees dating me as moving up, not down.